my name is Mary and welcome to our next topic. In my previous video, I talked about how to get an eTourist visa online and with its requirements and some advices according to my experiences. As I have mentioned, I've been staying here in India for 2.5 years already with my Indian husband. To enter India, you will need to have an eTourist visa, but an eTourist visa is only valid for 60 days. How would you be able to stay in India continuously using only your eTourist visa? So now, if you have a partner here in India and you guys are planning to get wed soon and you are confused of which service or which visa to get to stay continuously here in India, then this video is for you. I'll be talking about my timeline during my stay here in India with dates and the types of services I availed to be able to stay longer here in India. In a nutshell, this would be about the visa conversion and visa extension. Visa conversion to an entry visa, or it's also called an X visa, or in a layman's terms, it would be called a spouse visa. Then I just kept on applying for a visa extension. Now let's go to the timeline. My first arrival in India was on March 14, 2019, using an eTourist visa. I got my first visa for a double entry with a 60 days validity. This means I can only stay in India till May 13, 2019. During my first month of stay, I had applied for a visa conversion in the FRRO website. I'll give the link at the description box. Now don't forget your account in the FRRO website because you would be seeing each other for future years. All of your transactions and the applications would come from the FRRO website. Now back to the timeline. I had applied for a visa conversion on April 9, 2019. Now during this application, you guys don't need to go out of the country because your application is already in process. We were anxious during this time because my visa was expiring for less than a month and we haven't received any news from the FRRO. What we did was we went outside of the country, going to Bangkok, Thailand, and had a holiday trip there for 8 days on March 7, 2019. We just treated this as our honeymoon trip. But the main reason was that we thought we have to go out before the expiration of my visa. We feared that I'll be blacklisted if I keep staying in India without my visa. Like it was expiring on May 13, 2019 and we still haven't received any news from the FRRO. Now within our holiday stay in Bangkok, I applied again for an eTourist visa so that I can enter in India. This time, I received a visa with a 365 days validity and multiple entries, meaning it will expire after 1 year. But the catch is, my continuous stay should not exceed 90 days. So I can only stay for 3 months again, and then I have to go outside and come back again. This is really so much hassle. My second arrival in India using my second visa was on May 15, 2019. During my stay for May, June, and July 2019, I still have not received any news from the FRRO. Like seriously guys, it took us 6 months before I got a confirmation of my visa conversion. Water. Drink some water. And again, we went outside of the country on August 6, 2019 because I can't exceed my stay for 90 days. This time, we visited Malaysia. Of course, we just treated this as our holiday trip and we had a great time there. We just took it easy even though all of these processes were really in the pain in the ass. So these are all the pictures that we got while we visited Malaysia. But still, We still had a great time in Malaysia and we visited multiple places. We just stayed there for 7 days and we went back to India again using the second visa. My third arrival to India was on August 14, 2019, using the same visa. Remember, it has a 1-year validity, but the continuous stay shouldn't exist for 90 days. So we use the same visa because it has multiple entries. So right now, the total months of stay I have in India is 5 months, from March to August. On October 2019, I got my visa converted to entry visa. Finally, after 6 months upon application, I got it converted. The entry visa I got is valid for 1 year. I can continuously stay in India for 1 year. I just need to request for an visa extension so that I can stay for another year again, so that I would be able to reach the 2 years minimum requirements to be able to apply for an OCI. You can only apply for OCI if you have stayed in India for a minimum of 2 years. For those who don't know, OCI stands for Overseas Citizens of India. This is like your lifelong visa with free travel to India. It's like you are a citizen of India now. You can open a bank account, you can own a property, you can also work, but you cannot vote. I think these are the only things that you guys just need to know. If you want to know more, then just look it up on the web. And I'll create a separate video about OCI once I get my OCI. And for your information, I already applied for it. They scanned my fingerprints and documents were already submitted. I just need to wait for the police verification and they'll update if it's ready. Now back to timeline. My visa got converted in October 2019. I expected it to expire in October 2020 because it has a 1-year validity. But that's not how it is. Since I applied it on April 9, 2019, the expiration is in April 9, 2020. Like seriously, only 6 months is remaining. Like really, that was really unfortunate, but it's fine as long as I got my visa converted already. Here's the more shocking part though. When we went to the FRRO for the follow-up of my entry visa, like at the end of August, we asked the officers there if I need to go outside of the country again if there's still no update for my visa conversion. They said that you don't need to go out of the country since you already applied for the conversion. Even if your visa expires, you just need to stay in the India. You don't need to go outside. We were like, seriously? We don't need to go outside the country even though our visa already expired? Like, he said, yes, you just because my application is already under process. So we felt so dumb. Like seriously, we went to 2 countries within 5 months because we feared that my visa is expiring and I'm just staying in India. Like seriously, we wasted so much. Imagine guys, we visited 2 countries in 5 months. That was really super frustrating when we knew about it. Like, oh shit, what did we went there for? Like, pero we did not regret it naman eh. Like, we didn't really regretted that decision. Like, we had great time. We treated this as our holiday. We just felt dumb during that time. Really frustrated. So, can you really blame us? Like, it took the FRO 6 months to give us an update. Like, kung hindi pa kami pumunta sa office nila, hindi pa nila ipaprocess yung application ko. Hindi pa nila ipaprocess yun. Malay ba namin na okay lang ba na manirahan sa India na kahit na yung visa mo mag-expire na. And why would we take this risk? Like, what if my visa is not converted? Tapos, hayahay lang ako dito sa India, tapos expired na pala yung visa ko. So, we won't like to take that kind of risk na, magkakaroon ng blot yung name ko sa immigration. So, that's why we went out of the country, because it's, the FR never really gave us an update about it. So I suggest you guys, when you apply for a visa conversion, you guys have to go directly to the FRO office to speed up the process. Kasi siguro kailangan lang nila makita yung mga itsura nyo. Tapos, yun. So take note, if you already applied for it, you don't need to go out of the country unless you have a plan to do so. Because most of the time, the process for the visa conversion, most of the time, they will grant you for it. So I suggest visit to FRO and ask some of those related questions that you have. Now back to timeline. I have an entry visa now, and it will expire in April 9, 2020. On January 23, 2020, I applied for a visa extension. The service there is the stay visa. In February 2020, I was granted of 1-year visa extension. So now I can stay in India until April 9, 2021. After that, I applied again for an extension for 1 year in February 2021, since my visa is expiring on April 2021. They only granted me a 6 months extension. That means I can only stay till October 2021. There was an observation written in my visa. This one. It turns out that they needed my Apostle of Merge certificate, but I already applied for it, and and every document that we have is already there, so we're confident that there's nothing wrong with our application. So when we went there to the FRRO, the officer, the main guy there, the officer, said that it was just a miscommunication on the part of their, officer that granted me. So what can we do? They already granted me 6 months. He said that just apply for an extension again if you want to stay longer. But we did not do that because we had applied already for the OCI last June 1, 2021. So because I exceeded the minimum years of stay that I have in India. Like, I've been here already for 2.5 years. So I'm already eligible for the application of OCI. It's July 27, 2021, and October is coming. Like, October is the expiration of my visa, but it's fine since we already applied for the OCI. We are just waiting for it. If it won't come still in September, we will wait for September. If it still won't come, then we will just directly apply for extension for 6 months. We are waiting for the police verification, and we received a call from them 3 weeks ago, from the police, and it turns out that the letter from the FRRO came to a different district. So they are sending it to our district. So God knows what happened to the courier of that letter. It's already 3 weeks and it's still not coming. We are not rushing the officers because we understand that every processes in applications is slowed down because of the COVID also. So it's fine. Usually the OCI takes only 1 to 2 months to process everything, but I guess this time it would be about 3 to 4 months. Let's see. Now let's have a recap of my timeline. This is the summary of it. My first arrival was on March 2019 using an eTourist visa with a 60 days validity and double entry. And then when I went out again because my visa was expired, was expired. So my second arrival to India was on May 15, 2019. I received a visa of which has a 365 days validity, but I can only stay continuously for 3 months. So I used the same visa again for my third arrival to India. And then this time, around October 5, 2019, I got my visa converted to Infra visa, and it's valid for 1 year. And now I got it extended after that to at April 10, 2020, using a stay visa, and again it's another 1 year. And then I applied for a visa extension again at April 10, 2021, using a stay visa, but it was they only gave me for 6 months validity. And after that, I'm applying for the OCI. So let's hope that I will get my OCI. Now that is the timeline of my stay here in India. So let's go to frequently asked questions. Actually, these are just the questions that I came up. So if some of you might ask, what is the fee for visa conversion? It varies from state to state, but the estimation would be around 8,000 to 9,000 to 11,000. But in my state, like here in Mumbai, I paid for 9,640 INR. Next question is, what is the fee for visa extension? Again, it varies from state to state. It is 8,640 INR for 1 year and 5,760 INR for 6 months. What is an entry visa? Entry visa is also called an X visa. It's like a spouse visa. They provided this to the foreigners who have a certain relationship with an Indian citizens. This is an X visa can be granted to the following: like spouse, children of a foreigner of Indian origin. And next, a person of Indian origin who wishes to visit India for holidays and other purposes. Next is the dependents of foreigners who come to India on visas like business, students, research, or employment. Why didn't you just directly apply for 2 years visa extension? Because even if I write 2 years, they will only give me 1 year anyway. Moreover, I applied for 1 year because we have a plan that I will come back to Philippines after 1 year, like, just for holiday. But because of COVID, we couldn't really travel, so that's how it is. So that's why I applied for the visa extension for the second time. Next question, how many months did it take you to get your visa converted to an entry visa? It took us 6 months. If you processed it, if you already applied it online, you guys really need to go to their office offline, like personally, to speed up the application. Because I remember when we went there, the FRRO office, I saw my application, like my documents, like they print it out and they file it. The officer just took it from his table. So that means my documents has been laying there in his table for 6 months. Maybe it was collecting dust or something. And they started the whole process when we went there. And then I got it after a month. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching this far. And if you have any questions, just comment section below. Thank you for watching. And then my next video would be about how to apply for a visa conversion. All of the documents and what are the documents that you need for an entry visa, and then for the visa extension, all of it. Thank you and see you in the next video. Bye.